Hi, this is Elliot from Magoosh, and in this video we're going to think about the changes that were made to the TOEFL exam in 2019. Let's begin with the section lengths. Okay, we're going to think about things that have not changed and then focus on the things that are new, that are different about in the new version of the TOEFL. Okay, so in the reading section, what has not changed is that you're going to get the same number of passages. Okay, they're going to be 3 or 4 reading passages that you have to read. But for each passage, you're only going to have 10 questions now. Okay, so it used to be you could expect 12 to 14 questions, but now they've reduced that number to 10 and they've made that consistent for all reading passages. All right. So for the listening section, now you can expect the same number of conversations that you had in the past, okay? And the number of questions per lecture and per conversation are the same, okay? So you can expect for every lecture, you're gonna get 6 questions, and for every conversation, you're gonna get 5 questions. What has changed is that now you can expect fewer lectures, okay? So there used to be 4 to 6 lectures that you would get in the listening section, and now that's down to 3 or 4 lectures in the listening section. Okay, the speaking section. So in the speaking section, there used to be 6 tasks. Now there are 4. What has not changed from the prior version is that tasks numbered 2, 3, 4, and 6 are exactly the same as they used to be in the old version of the test. The only thing to keep in mind there is that they've relabeled those tasks to task 1 through 4 now. Okay, since there are only 4 tasks, they have a new numbering system, but tasks 2, 3, 4, and 6 are exactly the same and unchanged from the past. So all they did there was to remove tasks 1 and 5. Okay, so those are now gone and not part of the new test. Now you have 4 tasks and they are the old tasks 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay. The writing section is the same as before, so there's nothing to report here. There's no changes to section length at all for the writing section. Okay, now let's think about changes to timing. Okay, what's different about the timing of the test? So in the reading section, they've shortened things. Okay, it used to be a 60 to 80 minute test. Now it's down to 54 to 72 minutes. Okay, and actually they've given you a little more time on average per question here. So it used to be on average you'd get about 1 minute and 40 seconds to answer each question. Now you've got 1 minute and 48 seconds. Okay, so a little more time on average to answer each question. The listening section is also shorter. So it used to be a 60 to 90 minute test, and now that's down to a 41 to 57 minute test. Okay, but the average time per question is actually exactly the same as it used to be. Okay, so 35 seconds per question is no different than it used to be in the past. Okay, the speaking section. So remember they took away those 2 tasks. Okay, so now it's we have 4 tasks. It used to be 6 tasks on the old version. So the time to take the speaking section has also been reduced accordingly. So now you have, instead of a 20-minute section, now the speaking section is a 17-minute section. They give you the same amount of time for each of the individual tasks. So keep that in mind as well. That has not changed. Now each of the 4 tasks has the same time frame that it used to. It's just we have fewer tasks to do for the speaking section, so the section is shorter. And remember, the writing section is not changed at all, so no changes to report here in terms of timing. Okay, now scoring. So the thing to report here is the MyBest program, okay? And that's where if you take the TOEFL 2 or more times in a 2-year time frame, they're going to report the best section scores that you receive across all of those tests, okay? So if you take the TOEFL and score very poorly on the reading section, but you do pretty well on the rest of the sections, and then you take the TOEFL another time or maybe 2 more times and you improve your reading score, okay, they're going to report your best reading score alongside your best scores from the other sections across all of those tests. Okay, so kind of a nice thing there to show off your best work in your score report. Okay, what's changed in terms of practice materials? Well, ETS has updated their official practice materials on their site. So it's a good place to go check official content there where you can get some practice tests and some other practice sets from the different sections that reflect the new version of the test, the new format of the test, okay? At Magoosh, we have also updated our content so that it also reflects the new format of the test. We have lots of free stuff for you on our blog that you can check out. And our premium content, we've got lesson videos and we have practice questions, and they also reflect the 2019 changes. So everything is up to date on our site as well. Now, what do you do if you have old materials that reflect the old version of the test? Can you still use them? Well, the answer is yes, they are still usable. You just need to be careful, okay? You need to make sure you're studying the content that reflects the new version of the test. So what does that mean? Well, for the reading and listening sections, you have to be careful that you're answering the correct number of questions, right? We talked about those changes earlier in this video. And then for the speaking section, you need to make sure you're answering only the old tasks 2, 3, 4, and 6, okay? Because those are the new tasks 1 to 4, right? You just have to keep track of those differences to make sure you're studying the right material and you can still use that older content, okay? Okay, what are some other recent changes that we've noticed? Okay, so in the listening section, we've seen that some multiple choice questions now ask you to provide 3 correct answers. Okay, it used to be that there would only be questions with 1 or 2 correct answers, but now you might get one where you have to provide 3. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's a small difference to some multiple choice questions that you might see. For the speaking section, okay, so in task 2, and that, keep in mind, that used to be task 3, right? If you're studying those old materials, one of the students may partly agree or partly disagree with the passage there. So now there's more nuance in some of the responses that we're seeing from the students in that question type there. Okay, so just keep that in mind that that you may not, it's not quite as clear with strong opinions on either side in some cases in some of your task 2 prompts that you might get. Okay. Okay, and then in the writing section, just a small thing to note here. So basically task 2 is the same as it used to be, but we're noticing that some of the prompts are getting a little bit wordier and a little more complex. Okay, so just look out for those things. If you're studying official content and you're looking for materials, some of your task 2 prompts should be a little bit longer and more wordy than they used to be to reflect the new style that some of these prompts are taking in the new TOEFL. Okay, so those are the recent changes to the TOEFL exam that you need to know about. I'm going to put some more resources for you down below in the description so you can read even more about the 2019 changes and also lots of other stuff on our blog that you'll want to check out to learn about the TOEFL exam and to prepare for the test, okay? Also, if you like this video, go ahead and check out these other videos over here. We've got lots of stuff on the Magoosh TOEFL channel for you to check out and learn about the test with, okay? So good luck with your studies, and we'll see you in the next video.